edit that out, right?
I think so.
Okay. Hi kids, good morning. This is Amy, and I'm really excited to do yoga with you today. Thank you so much, Mr. Nunn, for introducing me. I don't know if any of you have tried yoga before or not, but whether you have or not, I think we're gonna have a great time together. For those of you who have never heard of yoga, yoga is all about moving your body and paying attention to your breath when you're moving it. And I like to say that there's three main things we want to focus on. We call them the 3 B's: your body, your breath, and your brain. And when we get those to coordinate, and coordinate means to work together, we end up feeling pretty darn good. So to start, everyone, come down and sit on the floor, and however that's going to be comfortable for you. I'm going to keep my legs like this, but sometimes I cross them like this if I need a little more space. And once you've found your position, just take a moment to just notice how you've created this kind of triangle on the floor, and just push your hands on your knees. And when you push your hands on your knees, make your spine nice and long. You can kind of wiggle a little bit until you get nice and long and sit really tall. Okay, that's awesome. So the next thing I want us to work on, now that we've got this shape we've created, we're going to work on our breath. So when we want to work on our breath, we're going to pay attention to not just our nose, not just our lungs, but our belly. Because what happens when we breathe, we make our belly like a big balloon. So what you can do, place your hands on your belly, take a big inhale, expand your balloon as much as you can, and exhale, let all the air go out. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, the belly gets big. Exhale, the belly gets small. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. And on the next one, we're going to hold our breath. Hold it for a count of 2. 1, 2. Exhale through the mouth. Oh, that's such a good job. Thank you, guys. Okay, now that we've kind of played with our breath, this time we're going to inhale and then exhale, but keep the mouth closed. And we're also going to close our eyes. So everybody, close your eyes. Inhale your balloon. Exhale, let it move out. Open your eyes. And then let's close our eyes and do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the eyes closed. But remember Mr. Nunn's rules. No sleeping, no snoring, and no smiling. Why no smiling? Okay, open up your eyes. Okay, that was great. Thank you so much for starting. All right, are you ready to move? Come on, let's all get onto all fours right now. You know, you've done this before, right? Have you crawled around like this? Okay, we're gonna crawl all the way to make our next shape called a table. And you can kind of see it's like a table. I have one arm here and one arm here, so they're like 2 legs of the table. And then I have my knees on the ground, and they're the other 2 legs. So now we've got 4 legs, and then we want to keep our back nice and long to start like a tabletop. Okay, you're all doing a great job. And then we're going to start to move. And what we want to do is we want to warm up our spine. Just like you did with Mr. Nunn earlier on, we're going to try to bring a little heat into the spine by moving it. So let's start by doing this. So you're going to inhale like we did at the beginning and look up. And then you're going to exhale, curve your spine and look to your belly button. Say hello to your belly button. Inhale, look up. And they call this the cow pose. Moo. And then they call this one the cat pose. Meow. Moo. Meow. You want to do it a couple more times? You can do it with the sound or without. Whatever sounds fun to you. Okay? And then the last one, we inhale, look up. Exhale, curve into your belly. And then come back to your table. Excellent job, guys. Okay, are you having fun? Super, glad to hear that. Okay, now what we're gonna do is just take our left leg back and stretch it out. Put the toes on the ground and you move back and forth. And this probably is gonna feel pretty good on the leg, and then you're gonna shake that leg out. Shake it, shake it. All right. And then bring that knee to the ground, and let's take your other foot out and move back and forth with that leg. And then you're gonna shake it, shake it. You got that? Super. Now, your wrists and hands might be a little bit tired, so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna come back, put our toes on the ground, walk our hands back, and we're gonna sit right on those heels. Now, this is a challenge, so you can try the challenge, or it's absolutely fine to sit right on your heels. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Okay, so now we're gonna do our next pose. And this one's kind of fun, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint a rainbow. And I'll turn around to look at you so you can see me. We're gonna take our fingertips nice and wide, and then we're gonna inhale, lift all the way up. High five! You wanna do that again? Okay, bring your fingertips down. Inhale, push your knees into the ground, lift the hands wide, draw that rainbow. The hands come together, you can look up this time. High five! Are you ready? Let's do 2 more. Arms nice and wide, fingertips nice and wide, all the way, look up to the sky. High five! Okay, 1 more. Are you ready? Inhale. High five. Exhale the hands back to the ground. Super job, kids. Okay, now next move, we're gonna do something called child's pose. So child's pose is you're gonna take your knees nice and wide. I'll show you this way. And your toes are gonna touch. And then your hands are on the ground, and then you sit all the way back on your heels. So now you've got this big stretch in your spine, and your hands try to reach as far as you can ahead. So start by looking at your hands, and then you want to put your forehead all the way to the ground. So I'm going to look up at you, but you keep your forehead on that ground, and then you kind of notice again that balloon in your belly. And as you inhale, that balloon is going to get nice and big, and as you exhale, the air goes back out. Inhale, belly gets big. Exhale, back in. Couple more times. And just notice how when you're folding down like that, your brain feels nice and relaxed. Okay, now take your head up off the floor. Keep your hands on the ground. And then we're going to do a little stretch by taking our fingertips onto the ground and then walking all the way over to the right. And look up, push those fingers into the ground. Feel this nice stretch on the left side of your body. And then you can place your head down. And just notice how you feel, kind of squeezing your right side against your right leg. And then you're going to look up, and then you're going to walk all the way over to the other side. And do the same thing, you guys. So stretch your arms nice and long, and then let your head come back down. And then you can look up and walk all the way back to the center, and then walk your hands back. And now you're going to be sitting back on your heels. How are you feeling? Good. Do you feel like you're getting a little bit warmer? Okay, you ready for more? Let's do it. Okay, so this next pose is kind of fun. You know how we did a cat and a cow? So those are animal shapes we make in yoga, and there's a lot of different animals we like to make in yoga. But the next one we're going to do is kind of a really familiar friend. So I have a big black lab named Watson. And there's one thing Watson likes to do every morning when he gets up. He likes to stretch. So I'm going to pretend I'm my dog, Watson. And you're all going to come back to your tables with me. And you're going to push your hands on the ground. And then take your toes onto the ground too. And then push yourself back towards your heels. And then you're going to lift up your knees and really stretch those legs into down dog. And just like my dog and maybe your dog, does every morning. He stretches the body. And then we're going to come back to our tabletop. Did you like that one? Let's do it a couple more times. Okay. Push your hands into the ground. The toes touch. You're going to lift up your hips. Look back at your belly button. And then you're going to inhale, come all the way back to table. And we're going to do that one more time. I'm going to pull up my pants. And let's do the next one. Okay, lift up, stretch nice and long. And this time you can even pedal your feet out because sometimes that feels good to stretch your calves. It's almost like you're running. You want to try that? Yeah, let's do that. Super. Okay, come back to all fours. Flatten the tops of your feet, and we're going to come back and sit again. Okay. How you doing? All right. We're going to do our next pose, and it's another dog pose. This one is called up dog. Now, to do up dog, we have to do something in between down dog and up dog. And that one's going to be a little challenging. So I'm going to show you two things you can try to get there. So let's come back to our table. Are you all there? Great. Okay, toes on the ground. Now let's push back to our down dog. And you know, sometimes if you can't straighten your legs in down dog, that's okay. You can keep them bent. You know, we're all learning. And then what we're going to do, we're going to roll ourselves forward. So you lift your heels and you come forwards to a plank pose. If this is too hard, put your knees on the ground. And there's nothing wrong if it's too hard. It just means that you have to learn with time to do the next thing. We all have our challenges, and challenges are good. So whether or not you have your knees on the ground or you have your knees up and you're in what we call a plank pose, we're going to either keep our knees on the ground and come all the way down to our belly, or if you're in your plank, you're going to do kind of like a push-up where the elbows come back and you come all the way down to the ground. That's so hard. Woo! Good job, guys. Okay, now you're going to flatten the tops of your feet, and here's where we're going to come to our up dog. So we went down dog, plank or table, to up dog. So put your hands right next to your chest, and then you're going to look up, push the feet into the ground, and then push your body up. Oh, you got it? That's an up dog. And sometimes maybe you see your dog doing this. It's another stretch. And then you're going to push yourself all the way back to your down dog. That's a hard one. Woo! Let's take a break. Come back to sit on our knees. And then just take a moment to notice what we've been doing. So a good thing that's kind of helpful is come take a rest. And again, just close your eyes. And just notice maybe your heart beating. Notice that you're breathing. And then you can open your eyes. You guys are doing such a wonderful job today. So we're just going to do a couple more things, and then we're going to finish up for today. But I'm going to be so excited to keep doing some more with the coming week. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, come back to our table. Come back to our down dog. And then you're ready? We're going to come over to our plank again, or with our knees on the ground. Come all the way down to the ground. And then we're going to take our legs wide and put one hand on top of the other. This one is called crocodile. And this is going to be kind of our relaxation pose. So take your feet wide, hand on top of another, and just put your forehead here. And just take a couple moments to rest here. And maybe you can just move your legs a little bit to shake it out. And then just notice your stomach again. So do you remember when we were thinking about our stomach being a balloon? Notice how you're breathing right now, and your whole stomach and your abdominal area, That's where like your belly button is. Gets bigger like a balloon. And then as you exhale, it kind of releases. And just notice how your mind is getting calmer, your brain. And just take a couple more breaths here. And then put your feet back together. And then place your hands next to your chest. And then you're going to lift one more time to your up dog. And then push yourself back to child's pose, knees nice and wide. Walking back, the forehead is touching the ground. And then walk all the way back up, and we're going to come back to our seat where we started. So in yoga, sometimes we end up where we like to lie down on our back at the end, and we'll do that another time. But other times we like to end by sitting. So we're all going to come sitting, and then just take your hands right on your knees, and then just close your eyes one more time. And just again, notice how you feel right now. And you can open your eyes, and we're going to take both hands together like we did with a high five, and then we're going to bring our thumbs right above our heart here. And we keep these hands together, and then we like to end our practice with a thank you. And there's a special word we like to use. It's called namaste. And let's say it together. Namaste. Let's do it again. Namaste. Okay, one more time. Namaste. Oh, awesome, you got it. So let's all say it together, and when we say the word this time, we're just gonna bend down and look at our fingers, and like we're saying thank you to ourselves, and thank you to all our friends who are practicing with us. Namaste. Thank you guys. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.